Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. In this explainer, I break down exactly how Australian small business owners can leverage AI to automate repetitive administrative tasks and save over 10 hours a week. We focus heavily on practical, privacy-compliant workflows perfectly tailored for the Australian market. We'll also look at how homeowners can use smart tech to slash those rising utility bills. It's all about conquering the constant squeeze of time and money, so let's get right into it.
So, what if tech could literally give you back 10 whole hours a week at work and, at the very same time, slash your utility bills at home? Sounds a bit like a pipe dream, right? Well, as the source material for today reveals, this isn't some distant science fiction, and you definitely don't need a massive corporate budget to pull it off. This is the reality of modern, accessible tech right here in Australia. It directly hits our two biggest pain points: lost time and high living costs.
All right, here's our quick roadmap for today. First, the Aussie Tech Advantage. Second, AI for small businesses. Then we'll look at prop tech and smart homes. And finally, we'll wrap up with installation costs and privacy.
Okay, jumping right into Section 1, the Aussie Tech Advantage, where financial wisdom meets tech insights.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty details, we really need to set the stage here. As modern Australian homeowners and business owners, we're looking for something super specific. We absolutely don't want confusing jargon, and we definitely don't want theoretical tech that doesn't actually work in the real world. This is purely about reclaiming your time and money through accessible, local tech integration. It's about taking solid financial wisdom, mixing it with smart tech, and getting a real, measurable return on investment right here at home.
Let's pivot straight into Section 2, AI for small businesses, and how we go about conquering admin fatigue.
10. Just think about that number for a second. 10 hours is what you can save every single week just by leveraging AI. Look, if you run a small business, you already know the heavy burden of admin fatigue, right? It's the endless data entry, the back and forth scheduling, the repetitive emails. It's all that stuff that essentially keeps you from actually growing your business. But the sources reveal something amazing. By strategically applying AI to these repetitive tasks, Aussie business owners are literally buying back more than a full working day every single week. Imagine what you could do with that kind of time.
Let's actually break down how this transformation happens. It's basically a straightforward three-step process. Step 1, identify the repetitive administrative tasks. You really have to find those bottlenecks first. Step 2, implement practical AI workflows. And hey, notice the word practical there. We are absolutely not talking about tearing down and rebuilding your whole company infrastructure. We're just talking about automating those specific tedious chores we found in Step 1. And Step 3, reclaim over 10 hours a week. Once you automate those workflows, the tech takes over the grind, completely freeing you up to focus on big picture strategy, growth, or, maybe just taking a well-deserved break for once.
All right, moving on to Section 3, prop tech and smart homes, focusing on upgrading the Australian home.
Now, let's switch gears to the home front. This brilliantly highlights the really specific, totally accessible prop tech or property technology solutions that are available to you right now. Take smart thermostats. They aren't just fancy digital dials anymore. They actually learn your habits to drastically slash your heating and cooling bills. Then you've got automated lighting to make sure you literally never waste electricity lighting up an empty room again. But honestly, the real game changer here is the Energy app. These apps can natively sync straight to your local Australian energy provider. That means you get real-time data on your power consumption, so you can make instant, money-saving tweaks based on your specific local rates.
So, let's compare. Your standard home is often, well, let's face it, a bit of a continuous financial drain, stocked with high utility bills and a pretty standard valuation. But upgrading to a smart home completely flips that script. By adding the accessible tech we just talked about, you're not just slashing those annoying utility bills every single month, you're also fundamentally boosting your property's overall market value. Buyers today, they actively want efficient modern homes. So this tech is doing double duty as an immediate cost saver and a brilliant long-term investment.
Okay, let's head into our fourth and final section, installation costs and privacy, and how we navigate the local landscape safely. All right, it is time to address the elephant in the room, data security. Whenever we talk about AI at work or smart devices listening in our living rooms, privacy is a massive and completely valid concern.
And that brings us exactly to privacy-compliant workflows. For any of this tech to actually be viable, the systems have to be tailored to strictly protect local Australian data. Whether it's your sensitive business admin info or just your home's energy patterns, these workflows are specifically designed to safely automate your environment while strictly adhering to rigorous local privacy standards. Bottom line, you absolutely do not have to sacrifice your security just to gain some efficiency.
Finally, we got to talk about the money. Let's put on our financial advisor hats for just a second and balance out this whole tech upgrade. Yes, obviously, you have to evaluate the upfront installation costs. Smart thermostats, automated lights, AI software, they do require an initial investment. But you really have to weigh that against the projections. You project those long-term utility savings from the prop tech. You account for the massive value of those 10+ hours you're getting back in your business every single week. And you factor in the undeniable boost to your property's value. When you look at the whole shebang, the initial costs are quickly dwarfed by these massive long-term financial and personal gains.
Which brings us to our final, really important thought for today. Are your home and business working as smart as you are? Think about it. You put an incredible amount of effort into your professional and personal life. Well, the technology now exists, right here in the Australian market, to make sure your environments are working just as hard to save you time and protect your wallet. It's practical, it's totally accessible, and it is secure. So, take a hard look at those repetitive admin tasks. Look at those stubborn energy bills and ask yourself how you can start integrating these solutions today. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep optimizing, and I'll catch you next time.